Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here to go over another thing that'll take our mind off of just this crap going on in the world. It's kind of a downer article, but if you think about it, kind of also is correct. So it's an article from Breitbart from John Nolte, who's probably one of my favorite writers, writes mostly about entertainment stuff, but does certainly delve into the political. It's from May 13th. It says, after 20 years of superstardom, Dwayne Johnson still has no film legacy. And I've been following, The Rock is always, of course, what I know him by, because I've been following his career since basically he started wrestling. So, of course, when he jumped into Hollywood, I was like, yeah, I'm going to support the dude, of course. I remember him going and seeing Walking Tall in the theater, and then just, following his career from there. But if you were to think about yourselves before I get into the article, think about it yourself. Like, if you could name, what has been that movie that you'd reference him to, say oh, he has this specific movie, that's a Dwayne Johnson movie. You're kind of is there anything? All of his movies are just kind of big action set pieces that are just kind of that's kind of how you feel about it. It's just okay, So let's go to the article. It says, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has been a top star for 20 years and still has no legacy, nothing to show for it. He has one movie that will stand the test of time, the underrated 2013 masterpiece Pain and Gain, but that's not a Dwayne Johnson movie, although it's his best performance. Instead, it's a Michael Bay and Mark Wahlberg movie. Yeah, I know. I remember it being marketed as both of those things, and I did see the movie once years ago. I didn't see it in the theater or anything. I think I saw it when it came onto cable, and I thought it was fine. I don't remember having much of an opinion about it one way or the other, but I don't remember his performance, and I know he's in the movie, but I don't think about it where John Nolte here is saying it's his best performance. I don't know. Anything other than just The Rock playing The Rock would probably be his best performance, so maybe that was that movie, but again, I don't really remember much about it, but I know I've seen it. Let's go on. So it says, Fast 5 is another keeper. Yeah, that's a good one. The most popular of the diminishing Fast and Furious franchise. But again, that's not a Dwayne Johnson movie. That's a Vin Diesel movie. So it says, these are Dwayne Johnson's movies: The Rundown, Tooth Fairy, Faster, Journey 2, Mysterious Island, Hercules, San Andreas, Central Intelligence, Baywatch, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Rampage, Skyscraper, Jungle Cruise, Red Notice, and Black Adam. It says there are more, but those are the main ones, and some of those movies are unquestionably entertaining. That's true. I even own a few of them on Blu-ray, says the author, but where's the classic and the all-timer? Right. Let's see here. The Rundown's fine. It's decent. I remember seeing that in the theater. I've seen Faster, though. If you were to ask me right now what it's about, I'd say I don't know, but I know I've seen it. And if someone was to read the synopsis to me, I'd be like, yep, that's that one. Okay, yep. Journey 2, I know I've seen, because I remember Vanessa Hudgens is in that. Let's see, Hercules. I did see Hercules. I did see San Andreas. I like San Andreas, though. Again, that was that giant set piece, Roland Emmerich type movie, where it's just the world is falling apart and only one man can save it, sort of thing, or save his family. Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart was decent. Baywatch was not very good. The Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I think, is definitely the best one of all these on here. Rampage was fine. Skyscraper was actually pretty good. I have not seen Jungle Cruise. I have not seen Red Notice because I don't have Netflix, and I'm pretty sure it's a Netflix film. And I saw Black Adam, and again, it was fine. So the article goes on, says, over the same time, 20 years, on top of several entertaining titles, Arnold Schwarzenegger delivered the following Stone Cold timeless classics. Not Stone Cold Steve Austin, Stone Cold timeless classics. Conan the Barbarian in 82, Terminator in 84, Predator in 87, Total Recall in 1990, Terminator 2 in 91, and True Lies in 94. Yes, those are all all-timers as far as I'm concerned. And it says, I would go even further and argue that Schwarzenegger's lesser titles from this era top any of the forgettable vanilla Johnson's been pumping out for 2 decades, and these are more Schwarzenegger movies. Commando in 85, which is just an entertaining hour and a half, even if it's kind of just, you have to suspend your disbelief a lot. The Running Man from 87, Twins in 88. Twins was fun. I remember my dad took me to the theater. There's a family story about that I'm not going to mention on here. But I remember seeing that in the theater. Even Predator, I remember seeing in the theater, and Terminator 2 I remember seeing in the theater as well. So there's also Kindergarten Cop, which I'm pretty sure I also did see in the theater, and Last Action Hero, which I did not see in the theater. But one of the greatest movie soundtracks of all time. That's a great soundtrack. With AC/DC's Big Gun leading the way on that one. Just a great song on a great soundtrack. Anyway, so it says Steven Seagal will always be remembered for Above the Law and Under Siege. Hell, I'd even go with Hard to Kill. That was the first Seagal movie I saw. And of course, except for like the Under Siege movies, like all the other ones have 3 words in the title. That was always the joke. Jean-Claude Van Damme has Kickboxer, Universal Soldier, Hard Target, and Time Cop, and I'd even put Bloodsport in there. It says Chuck Norris has a half dozen or so early Kung Fu B movies that ensure his place as an action icon, as well as Missing in Action and Code of Silence. I have a dearth of Chuck Norris movie viewing by, just in my movie catalog. I have not seen a lot of Chuck Norris things. Certainly none of his, like, in his prime sort of stuff. Probably got to rectify that one day. So it says Stallone cemented his place in the genre with First Blood, which is excellent. Cobra, yeah. And Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger is great. It doesn't get enough press, that movie, but everyone that watches it likes it. It says Bruce Willis has the first 3 Die Hard movies, The Last Boy Scout, and Armageddon. Vin Diesel has both the Fast, the Furious, and Riddick franchises. Keanu Reeves has The Matrix, Point Break, Speed, and of course, John Wick. Mark Wahlberg has The Departed, Boogie Nights, The Fighter, and Pain and Gain. And the author says, I could go on with Mel Gibson, like for Lethal Weapon, Tom Cruise for Mission Impossible, Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones, Kurt Russell with Escape from New York, Will Smith for Independence Day, Denzel Washington as Man on Fire. Says Dwayne Johnson still doesn't have a single title like that, not one that quickens the pulse or evokes precious memories of being knocked out of your theater seat. He might have had a longer career than some of those mentioned above. He might sell more tickets and even earn more money, but as far as legacy with action fans, pure vanilla. So Schwarzenegger knew exactly how to become an icon. Iconic catchphrases, larger-than-life characters that carry an edge of violence, and top-flight directors looking to push the genre. People will always remember Schwarzenegger for his movies. As people might remember Johnson, but not his movies. He's too generic, too eager to please, too pleased with himself, and terrified to color outside of the lines. And Schwarzenegger wanted a legacy and nailed it. Johnson just wants to be famous. So in 50 years, we'll still be watching Terminator, Predator, Total Recall, and the others. No one will be watching Skyscraper or Jungle Cruise. Yeah, that's correct. And I mean, I want to take a step back here to go to this. He's terrified, Dwayne Johnson is, terrified to color outside the lines. Is there any movie that stretches him as an actor? Or like I said earlier, is he just playing Dwayne Johnson in every single one of his movies? Because that's what it seems like is happening, is that he's just playing Dwayne Johnson over and over and over and over. And there's no difference really to them. Maybe if he was to do some sort of like dramatic thing, people might have another look at him and go, oh, okay. Or even if the movie sucks, you could still go, oh, well, The Rock was actually really good in that. But what do you guys think about this? I mean, you can still enjoy the movies that were listed here for sure. Excuse me, not cutting that out. There are definitely some on here that I enjoyed. Like I said, the Jumanji movie I think is easily the best out of everything that's on here. But again, if you're looking back and saying like, what is that movie or even that franchise that's like his, there's really nothing. I mean, the closest thing you probably can get is something like Jumanji, but then you could also call that a Kevin Hart and or a Jack Black thing as well. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.